Here we are. Yummy. Got coffee there as well. Happy weekend everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is an exciting day because I'm going to be showing you what I eat in a day. We're going to start with breakfast, lunch and then dinner. Typically it kind of varies day to day, but because it's a Saturday, it's going to be a little bit more indulgent. We're going to start off with eggs Benedict. And so yeah, if you want to see what I eat today, keep watching. So we are going to start with breakfast. We're making eggs Benedict with salmon. Start with some boiling water in a pan. We're going to start with the hollandaise first because that's the most challenging bit. Grab yourself a cup and a bowl, heat safe, because that's going to go on a double boiler. Crack your egg into the cup, and I'm just going to use my fingers to very gently take the egg yolk out like that. Give it a bit of a shake, get rid of all the white stuff. Ooh, and then, oh, it's not coming off. There we are. And then put that into the bowl. I'm gonna save this for something else. So you can put that aside and you're just gonna need that. Cool, once you've washed your hands, you're gonna season your egg really nicely. You're gonna put a bit of salt, and then you're going to need a fork and some butter. Break the egg yolk. Put your bowl, hopefully it fits on top of your double boiler, so your pot. Put it on top and then just give that a good old stir. Essentially what you want to do is you want to emulsify the butter into the egg yolk. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a bit of butter right in towards the bowl and you're going to give that a bit of a stir. The butter is going to melt into the egg yolk and create this really lovely sauce. And what you're looking for is the consistency of custard-ish. Now, if you start to feel like it's too hot in here, what you can do is you can always grab a cloth and take it off the heat. Once your butter kind of melts in there, you're all done with that. Add another tablespoon worth, and that goes in there. Now, you'll start to see that that becomes a bit more emulsified and it's a bit more gooey. If you start to see your eggs overcooking here, take it off the heat. It'll still be hot in there, so it'll still cook the eggs, it'll still emulsify. And you can see that it's starting to thicken up very slightly. At this point, this is when I start to add vinegar. I'm not gonna measure here, but I usually put about a teaspoon worth. Ooh, boop, boop, boop. There we are. I'm just gonna start going. You'll notice that it'll start to become a little bit more pale, and you just gotta incorporate that. It goes back on. And then I put one more tablespoon worth of butter, and that's pretty much my butter done. Have a bit of a taste. Yeah, it tastes really good. Oh my god, that's my favorite sauce. The reason why I don't use a whisk is because I find the fork does it equally better, and I find like bits get stuck in the whisk. I just really don't like wasting hollandaise. Kind of, you know, it stresses me out. Cool. You can see it's starting to thicken a little bit more. In about 30 seconds, I'm gonna let it rest for a little bit and then I'll continue with my poached eggs. I'm gonna crack my egg in here. Cup. I'm gonna put a bit of vinegar in here. And the most important thing is you want to start to make a whirlpool. So I go into the clockwise direction. You're going to start to see it pulls in the center. And then I'm going to drop my egg in the center. And then what that's going to do, that's going to create movement in the water so that the egg doesn't stick. So you'll see, oh, look at that. I'm going to let the egg white settle about 1 minute. I'm going to do one at a time just so that you can see this one because it's stressing me out. I didn't realize that it's so hard to film what I eat in a day. All right, I think that's time. So I'm gonna pull it out. When you're ready, just pop that right here. Let it just chill. And then you kind of move on with the rest really. So I'm gonna get on with the rest and yeah, I'll see you when we start plating. Alright, so my last egg is in, so I'm gonna get the toast going so that everything is kind of ready to go. We're gonna heat the hollandaise back up. You'll notice that the hollandaise is a little bit more curdled than when you first saw it, so I'll show you. So it's a little bit more curdled, don't freak out. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put just a tablespoon of that hot water back in. And again, you're just gonna emulsify that sauce. You see what I mean? It immediately goes back to being that lovely, creamy texture. Again, if it's still a little bit curdled, grab that water, put it in. Once you start circling it again, it starts to become nice and glossy, not curdled, not broken. That's perfect to me. Cool, my bread's ready. Now we're gonna plate up. What I like to do is a trick here. Grab some garlic, peel the skin off, and you're going to rub it all over that crusty skin. That's gonna give it a nice garlicky taste to it. Amazing, let's plate up. So, bit of salmon. Cool, once you've got that bed of salmon on, you're gonna pop your eggs on. Here we are. And the moment of truth. Let's see. Welcome to the Clean Plate Club. Quarantine walkies. All right, we're back from our nice walk and now it's lunchtime. Today for lunch, we're going to be making a salad with noodles and a miso peanut butter dressing. Let's do this. We're gonna start first with the rice noodles and you're gonna need this guy. I tend to just use one. Put it into a pot and you're going to pour boiling water into that. You're not gonna need to cook it. You're just gonna leave it there to do its thing. So once that's in there, you're gonna prepare your vegetables and you can use any vegetable you like really. I'm going to use carrots, tomatoes, a bit of gem lettuce, cucumber and a bit of bistro salad. And essentially what I do with my carrots is I use my peeler, cut them up in strips and then just julienne it. So small bite-sized pieces are always the way to go with a salad. You know, you don't want to be chopping up your salad. Got a couple of leaves in here. With your dressing, you're going to start with some peanut butter, a heaping teaspoon worth, a miso paste, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, toasted sesame oil. So again, another teaspoon worth. Everything is pretty much just 1 to 1 to 1. If you do a lot more than you think, it's not the end of the world. A bit of honey. And it should look something like that. And add optional sesame seeds as well in there. Boom. Now once you've got everything together, you're going to combine it. I'm going to drain my noodles and then let it cool. Now it's super important to let it cool because if you don't let it cool, it's going to cook your vegetables. Now to put it all together, what I'm going to do is a little bit controversial. We're going to put your dressing into the noodles. I feel like it absorbs better in the noodles. Give it a toss. I'm gonna dump that into here and then give it a mix. Oh, so good. I actually wish you could smell this. Let's try. You need to make this. If you make it, let me know. Share it with me on Instagram. You won't regret it. Hashtag Clean Plate Club. So it's not quite dinner time yet, but I'm going to prepare my soy cured egg. I'm gonna have that with steak and rice tonight. And to make your yolk, what you're going to add a teaspoon of sesame oil, a teaspoon of mirin, and 3 teaspoons of soy sauce. You're gonna put that in there in your dish with just the yolks. Add a pinch of sugar. And every 30 minutes or so, you're just going to baste the yolks. And essentially that's going to create a salted yolk and it's going to be nice and umami flavored. And we'll have that with our steak and rice. So a few hours later, my egg yolks have cured. I'm gonna get going with the rice because that's gonna take a while. classic, I've got leftover rice. And if you do, and you don't have a microwave, this is the best way for you to reheat your rice. Put a bit of water in your dish. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a foil covering on top. My oven has been preheated for 200 and that's going in for about 30 minutes. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here, if you don't like meat or don't eat meat, I would probably skip towards the end. So let's tackle the steak. I've got a lovely cut of butcher's ribeye here, and I'm gonna season it really nicely with some salt, generously, because most of the seasoning actually gets lost when you're cooking. Pepper. Courtesy of Blacklock, we're also going to be adding the chopped sauce. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, this is the one. So that goes into a pot here, and I'm just going to reheat that to go on top of my rice. So now the pan is on high heat. I'm going to go without any oil because the meat is quite fatty anyway, so you're not going to need any oil. It's going to produce its own oil. Pop that in. Break the yolk, put that on. Clean Plate Club. And that's what I did today. If you enjoyed it, please do like it. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe. Feel free to comment down below what else you'd like to see. And I'll see you again soon.